are under fire.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates and some more Star Wars Battlefront II content. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the speed of the starfighters in Starfighter Assault, as well as the first person versus third person mode, and how the controls affect these kind of things. So first off, what about the speed? I haven't seen too many discussions about this after the reveal, but some people said they thought it looked a little bit slow and some thought it looked fine. So I wanted to give you my opinion on this and talk a little bit about how it works in this game. So I think one main thing that I really need to mention, and that is a huge change from the last game, is the fact that the speed does not affect your damage output. And this is something not a lot of people knew because it isn't very clear. So when I talked to a lot of other game changers, they automatically went down to slow speed to shoot because they were so used with that from the last game, whereas in this game that is not the case. So that's why you might see people flying around at a slow speed when they don't really need to do that. So after a while I learned that yes, I can indeed engage the enemy starfighters at full speed if I want to, even when I'm using the afterburner with some of the more faster ships. So how does the speed feel then? Is it too slow? Is it too fast? Is it good? Well, I think that the good thing is that it's a quite big difference between the different ships. The bombers are pretty slow, whereas the interceptors can be quite fast. And that's the kind of difference we didn't really have in the previous game either. And also something that I can agree with is that if you fly out in the open, it might actually feel like it's going pretty slow. But I think that's mostly because you don't really have any reference point. But as soon as you get inside something, such as the shipyard at Fondor, well, you will really feel that speed, because if you go at full speed or use the afterburner, it's gonna be quite tricky to actually maneuver around the things and make sure that you don't crash. And some of the bigger ships, such as the Slave 1 on the Millennium Falcon, have a really hard time fitting in there, so I did crash quite a few times even though I slowed down to the lowest speed. And another thing that affects this is of course the first person versus third person perspectives. Personally, I used third person most of the time because I like seeing where the ship is at. I feel like I have a better control, and once I go into first person, it feels like everything is going a lot faster and I'm really struggling to maneuver around things because it's a lot harder when you don't see the ship. However, it seems like this is a very personal thing, because I talked to Tim, also known as Darkness429, who did use the first person quite a lot, and he managed to pull off some really cool maneuvers, such as flying through really small holes with the A-wing when he was in first person. And well, I tried to do the same thing during my stream and it didn't turn out too well. So I think it depends a lot on what you personally prefer. If you want a more of a challenge, I would say go for first person, and it also does feel a lot more immersive, I'll have to admit that. But otherwise I would recommend third person if you want to have a better idea of where your ship actually is. So overall I'm pretty happy about how the speed and the controls feel with the different views. The one thing I would ask for would be a slightly higher max speed on some of the ships, such as the Interceptor, because I would love to be able to fly through the inside of the shipyard with such a high speed that I pretty much can't succeed even if I wanted to, because that would force me to constantly have to lower my speed, and it would probably also increase the skill gap a little bit, which I think would be a nice addition. But I do know that they model the speeds for these ships based on, well, what they are in reality, or in the Star Wars reality, so I'm sure they can't just increase the speed how much they want, because then it wouldn't be like in the canon universe. But we'll see. This was the pre-alpha, so there's no telling if anything will be changed or not for the beta and the full game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.